Every show is gonna be like, this could be the last one.
Exactly. This must be my last time.
Rocking with the best.
Late Night Luke.
Hello, Late Night Luke episode 3 right here. We have Juicy M, Mike Williams, and Sam Feldt. Wow, I can't believe I'm seeing you guys here. It's incredible.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, so welcome here, Marta. Juicy M's real name, Marta. Your hotel room looks dark. You're in a different time zone right now, right?
Yeah, right now it's like 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Where are you right now?
Phuket.
Wow, Phuket in Thailand.
Yeah, in Thailand.
That's amazing.
I'm longing for warmer weather.
It feels so good. It feels really good.
That was actually the last trip I took before the whole COVID situation was to Thailand. So
it looks completely different. It's like a ghost island right now.
Oh, wow.
It's so
sick.
Yeah, and so you guys are in the Netherlands, right, Sam and Mike?
Yeah, in the cold Netherlands, unfortunately.
Mike, I see.
some sun.
I see you're in your studio with the nice neon lights.
Yeah, I am in the studio. I don't know. I'd never know like which is the best color for video, but let me.
It's nice, the pink little glow makes you look healthy.
Red is the best color, right?
Yeah.
Sam,
100%.
do you have any neon colors in your studio?
No, it's pretty. I just moved houses. So I moved houses at the beginning of COVID. So this is kind of like my studio / office. And as you can hear, it's not very well acoustically treated, but I just treated myself to this awesome pair of headphones that I do now almost all my production on, which is awesome. So, yeah.
What's the brand? Is that AKG?
No, this is the ZMF Verite closed. So it's also closed. And I know a lot of people, prefer open headphones, but for me, the noise canceling effect and, it, really shutting me off from everything else really helps to concentrate and focus. And also with the bass, it's a lot nicer.
Nice. That's amazing. So is it fair to say that we are a little bit jealous of Juicy M being in Thailand right now? Because you're doing shows, right?
Yeah, I do actually. But guys, I've been for 15 days in the quarantine hotel, so I'm like, it's well deserved.
Yeah. You put in the work.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you on your own or are you with a team?
No, I'm by myself right now.
Wow.
Just me. Just me, myself.
So I'm talking to two people that have actually been in quarantine abroad. Like Mike, you also did that, right?
Yeah, we've been neighbors actually.
Really?
In the hotel.
Crazy.
Yeah, the Vivek, Mike, and you were neighbors, and it was a party every evening on the balconies.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Weird vibe.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I had no idea it would be so much fun. I prepare myself to read books and just meditate and just be quiet. But in the end, honestly, I made so many friends with basically whole hotel. So it wasn't quiet at all. It wasn't peaceful at all. It was like all communication. In self-isolation, I found so many friends that normally took me like 5 years to.
Yeah, because you're all in the same ship, right?
Exactly. Like somehow this kind of situation made people come closer together, be more open, and just, I don't know, go crazy together is more fun.
So how was that for you, Mike, being in a hotel room for 14 days then? Where was it?
I was actually in a just like
Taiwan, right?
What?
Was it Taiwan? Taiwan?
Yeah, Taiwan. Yeah, and they kind of like they booked us an Airbnb, which was really nice because then you're not dependent on the food and the room service. So we could just order like Uber Eats or something like that. And I could stay together with my tour manager in one apartment. So we kind of survived for 2 weeks like that. And we brought like a PlayStation and I brought some speakers and my laptop and I brought some books, which I didn't read eventually, but so it was not that bad. The time actually went really fast, and the shows were amazing. So I was so happy that I did it.
Marta, will this be your first show out of COVID soon?
I did my first show yesterday. No, 2 days ago. Yeah, for
2
Halloween.
days ago. Wow.
Yeah.
So after what, 8 months, 7 months?
Yeah, like 8. Well, I did a few gigs during the summer, but it was self isolation kind of event. It wasn't the same, but the one I did 2 days ago was just the way it was. It was sold out, packed. I was like, wow! I couldn't believe it. It was just like first time in my life. I was so nervous and felt this emotions from the people and all together. It just felt so good. I'm like, guys, it exists. I still have a job.
Wow. I'm getting goosebumps
Reassuring.
hearing this. This is incredible.
Yeah.
And so, but the situation in Thailand is really good, right? So there's no people with masks.
Really good. They have, I think, like 2 cases per day or something like that, or it's almost not exist. At least this is what they say.
That's incredible. And so,
There is hope. There is hope.
yeah. And so when you go back, because where do you live?
Spain.
Oh, so when you go back, do you need to quarantine again as well?
Please, no. I don't want to do it again.
Oh boy. Yeah, and so about the hotel rooms, we're going to get back to that because we had the poll and the viewers could vote on who would have the noisiest neighbor in the hotel. So we're going to get back to that. Actually, I want to dive into a couple of viewer questions people have sent in. So this one is for Sam. Sam, what does success mean to you?
Wow, that's a loaded question. Well, it's very simple, I guess. Happiness in my case. I guess if you're happy doing what you do, that's success to me. And for someone that could be driving a Ferrari, and for someone that could be helping people, and for me, it's making people smile with my music. And as long as I can do that, and that's the outcome, I consider it success. Because it's also something that I've done when I wasn't making any money yet, and I was still doing it. So I think that's the main KPI here for me.
What I always think is interesting about your branding, Sam, is that whenever we see you on photos, I sometimes kid around at photo shoots, and I'll be like, okay, this is the Sam Feldt pose. And he's always smiling while other DJs are usually like,
Yeah, it's
all
true.
serious and tough, and you're like the smiling DJ, and I do like that.
Well, it's also me, and like it's not like a face that I put on. It's just that when I'm performing, sometimes I look back at videos and like you really have to, like smile so wide. You can act a little bit cooler, man, but it's not me. Like I can contain myself. I can contain my energy and my happiness when I'm doing the shows, and I think that
That's
also
a happy
reflects
place,
on.
for sure.
Yeah, man. I just let go. I wish I could be like this cool techno guy, like with a hat and all black and glasses, and just be like,
Always like a poker.
Maybe he's like 70 or 80.
yeah. Well, maybe if I grow
More
older
serious.
and more grumpy, I can take on like a techno act or something like that.
See, I have the same problem where I have a smiley face. Some people, like my wife, for instance, her normal face is it's almost like a mad face. And people always ask her like, oh, can't you smile? Why aren't you, more happy? I have the opposite. My face is always happy, even if I'm sad or even if I'm angry. And so at photo shoots, the photographer, we would be trying to do like a really cool shoot. And they would say, stop smiling. Like, okay, pretend someone slapped your grandmother or, someone punched your brother or something like that. And I would be like,
Yeah.
and it never worked. So
And it looks like you're taking a shit more than you're angry, man. That's what I have too, man. When I try to like, are you on the toilet or are you actually mad? I don't know. It's also a blessing, right?
yeah,
I mean, we're smiley people, Luke. That's good.
that's good indeed. And so, Mike, what does success mean to you then? You're relatively young, huh? You're the youngest from all of us.
Yeah, I think so. I'm 23. I kind of agree with Sam, although he's in here for a way longer time than I am, I think. I think it's a challenge to see it still see it as a hobby instead of work, because I think the moment you're gonna see it as work and you're gonna be too serious with it, you're gonna lose the happiness that which brings the happiness, and I think that's like a challenge. As long as you stay happy and you can just do what you like, that's important, I think.
And well, obviously, I want to ask the same to Marta, but I got to give you a shout out, Marta.
I guess you're gonna say the same.
No, because what I've seen from you over the years is your hard work and dedication, like just constantly killing it and doing your best. And I had my wife looking at your social media the other day, and she actually really enjoyed it because you are really funny on the TikTok and on the social media. And for instance, I respect you for your DJ skills, and so to see a combination of that where you bring joy to people and bringing that talent as well, I got to give you a shout out.
Yeah, and I also really like to travel as well, so it's like a good combination, I guess.
Yeah.
No, there is something magical happens when you move from one country to another and basically be on the road, be on a plane, on a train. I feel home. I feel more home in the hotels than I feel at home sometimes, which is really weird. I don't know, the performance and sometimes just having this idea for the music. I think like doing what you love is incredible. It's a gift sometimes when I think it's a job and people actually pay money for this. It's incredible. It's like the biggest gift you can have on this planet. It's just to enjoy what you're doing. I mean, sometimes I don't sleep. Sometimes I don't eat. Sometimes I miss my family. We all have this, of course, side effects. But still, to be able to travel all around the world is amazing. Really amazing.
As a touring DJ, that's good that you feel home on the road. For instance, I love being at home. I really like being at home, and the touring I don't like as much, but the performing I love, and meeting people all over the world for sure. And so okay, so we have a dream job. Maybe we were kind of out of a job. We are kind of still out of a job.
Not this year.
So then the question is, what would we be if we weren't doing this? So for instance, Sam, I know you are an entrepreneur on the side as well, right? You're always finding out.
I was actually an entrepreneur before I became a DJ, or actually a successful DJ. I've always been trying to become a DJ since I was, I think, 11 years old. I had my own drive-in show, asked for money at birthday parties to buy a new smoke machine, stuff like that. But no, that was always a hobby. And then I was always starting up businesses. First one I started when I was 13 years old. It was an e-commerce store. Created my own brand of electronics. I did some social media services that I launched, web design, web development, all that stuff. So in media in general. And then my hobby became so big that that my business became like a side project instead of the music. But yeah, that was always the core.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I have linked my website to one of your companies, right?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So we're actually this week on Friday we're relaunching Fangage, which is an internet startup. We've worked hard on a completely new version for the last year. So on the development side, so super excited for that. But yeah, lots of stuff happening, man. I also launched my own anti-hangover drink 2 years ago.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
which
great.
Is great when you're touring and you have to live that DJ life of partying and still being fresh in the morning. But like, I just love like coming up with ideas and then executing them. And it costs me more time and energy to not do something than to do it, because I'm going to be in bed, awake, dreaming of what could have been, and then for me, it's easier to just go on with it and get it done.
So you have one of those restless minds.
Yeah, well, it's I like to call it creative, like in a way where you're constantly thinking of, new combinations, between, just like the music creation process. Like I think everything is kind of like a remix right now. So yeah, it's just A and B put it together, you get something completely new. I like that, and then just creating that product or service or song and seeing that it grows. That's awesome, super fulfilling.
Marta, would you be interested in trying his hangover drink?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes. Yeah. Cool,
I'll ship you a box.
Amazing, please. Take it to the next show if you're gonna play together. Take it. I would love to taste it.
No, I always take it on tour. It really helps. Like obviously, better not to drink as much, but sometimes you have those evenings, and the promoter is so happy to see you, and you still have a pickup at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then it can really help.
Yeah.
Is this something you guys still do? Or would do at shows? Would you have a drink?
I guess I have a drink at home too, but for me over the past years, it's definitely gotten less if you compare it to when I started DJing. Because when you just start, everything's new. You get this whole rider. You're like, wow, that's so amazing. And then in the end, like after 3 weeks of touring, you're completely exhausted, dead. I feel like shit, and then you're like, okay, I shouldn't have done that. So you live and you learn, right? So that's for me. I do it less and less nowadays.
What about you, Marta?
Well, I've been experiencing both because I've been touring actually pregnant a few times. So a few years it was completely without alcohol, and with years I know my limits. So I know how much it's gonna be to have that limit of fun and then have no hangover in the morning. So it's like a good balance where I feel like, okay, if I have a lot of gigs during the months, then I definitely stay, sober for most of them. And sometimes I feel like, okay, I can relax right now. But sometimes I feel like, hey, it's just one gig in a few months. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe that's going to happen after you really get on tour again.
Yeah.
Every show is going to be like, this could be the last one.
Exactly. This must be my last time. Let's bring some champagne over here.
Yeah,
let's celebrate it.
Yeah, I actually had my last show I did before COVID was in Boston, and we knew it was going to be the last show because it had already been announced that the day after there was going to be a ban on all shows. So everybody knew that this is going to be the last show. We didn't know it was going to take this long. We knew it was going to be the last show for at least a month or two. Now a lot longer. So everybody went full out. Also, the people that were there, they were like ordering bottles, and like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I remember playing a few of my best sets and my worst sets while I was still drinking. I don't drink anymore, but I thought they were my best sets ever. But then in hindsight, they were probably my worst sets ever. It's kind of like you get into that flow and you're like, oh yeah, this is a great party and I'm doing a great job. And I just remember, or I kind of not remembered, I think I played the same track twice. I was like, did I play this or did I play this now?
Nightmare.
Well, let's play this again. I was really into it. And I finished my show and I look up and there's only 2 people and I get a slow clap. I was like, I thought this went really well, but I guess it didn't.
Is that one of the moments why you decided to give up drinking, or
this was the moment, pretty much.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. I need to sober up for sure. Just circling back to Mike here, Mike. If you weren't a DJ, I'm pretty certain you would be a cook, right? Is that correct?
I don't know. I'm just trying, but yeah, I have a lot of time right now, so I cook a lot of. I try out some different things. But when I was on high school, I always wanted to be an airline pilot. So yeah, that's I worked for that. Really worked for that on high school, and it was. I think after high school, like a year, that I decided, okay, this is not going to happen. And I started touring already. So at the end, I kind of, with touring and being in airplanes, I'm kind of, at the same thing.
Flying more than a pilot.
Yeah. I mean, my dad is actually an airline pilot, so that's why I really wanted to become one. But there was a certain point that I was flying even more than my dad. So I was away from home so many times, and he was just being like an airline pilot and sitting at home even more than I did. So it was, I was eventually happy that I decided to focus on music. Because if I was gonna do the school for being an airline pilot, you have no time to do something else besides it. So I'm happy I made the decision.
It's funny that pursuing music was your plan B. A lot of people have it as, maybe that's a dream, but I'm not sure if it'll happen. So I'm gonna have a plan B in case the music fails, if I'm not gonna be successful in music. But music for you was like, I might not do the airline stuff. I'll do music, or like,
because I mean, when I was on high school, like my parents were super strict on me, and they were like, you really have to finish your school, and you make sure you study hard. And then like right before my exams, I was just like still producing music and in my bedroom, and then my parents came in and they got angry. I got all this at the end I made it, luckily. And then I didn't even need any education because I was starting to tour and do music, but I'm still happy I got it.
I mean, I guess if you would be a pilot right now, you would have had a problem as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so technically, you know how to fly then, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I practice a lot of flight simulator.
Yeah. I was
that's
just
fine.
thinking you could fly yourself out to a show or something.
Yeah. I was thinking about if my dad is gonna retire, then he can like fly on a different type of airplane, and then.
Have you ever considered, for example, now during COVID, when you have so much time to get your PPL, to get your flying license? Because I actually thought about it.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
I thought about it too.
I thought about it too.
Wow.
Flying DJs.
I guess we missed the flying a lot.
Yeah.
I'm so bad. I was even missing these cheap airlines like Ryanair. Like, please take me anywhere.
I'm missing the lasagna, the microwave lasagna from Ryanair.
Microwave lasagna. That's hilarious. Just fixing my camera here.
Cold, still freezing in the middle, still frozen in the middle, and burnt on the side. Yeah, but you thought about that, Mike, or not? Like, to get it?
I thought about it, but on the other hand, I don't want to lose my focus for music. Because even though there's not a lot of happening right now, I still want to produce a lot of music and be in the studio, and don't kind of lose that. And I have a small hope that this will be over soon, but you never know.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah. So I'd like to go into you guys have seen it on social media, right? We always do a poll with the viewers where we ask them a question, and I'm always curious about the outcome. So do you guys have like the papers ready with the names? Whoa, look at Sam.
Oh my God, you're really prepared. You're such an amazing entrepreneur. Wow.
I know it's a print. Holy shit.
Marta, do you have any papers?
I do, but look at you. My God.
It's incredible.
I didn't like this font. Should be your new logo, look.
It's incredible. Okay,
didn't you see it mirrored? Because I don't see it the right way.
No, me.
Yeah, we're seeing it the right way.
Perfect. All right, good.
Mike is handwritten. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe this answers our first question. Who got kicked out of the classroom most often? What did the crowd say? Kicked out of the classroom.
Good one. Let's say...
Hey, Sam says Mike. Mike says Juicy M. Marta is writing as we go.
Still right.
Drum roll. And she says, Mike. Okay. So Marta, why are you saying Mike?
I think I was the worst in the school, but maybe Mike too. I'm sure Sam was the best.
well, Mike just told us that he was actually working on music while he should be doing homework, so that kind of gave it away for me.
Yeah, there was a point that we were allowed laptops in the classroom. So then I found a way to quickly swipe to the left, and then I could produce. And then if I swipe right, I still have my Word document. So
you were working with your headphones on, producing in the classroom.
Yeah, sometimes crazy, but I was actually a nerd. I was always on time, and I was I never like crossed the line. I went really close, but I never really crossed it.
Hey, I'm sure people that are watching right now will steal that desktop trick from you. That's actually really smart. Yeah. So the crowd actually says 4th place, Sam. They got that right, I think. 3rd place, Marta, GCM. 2nd place, Laidback, Luke. Wow. And Mike Williams, they agree. Mike Williams would get kicked out of the classroom most often.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I kind of see myself as Sam as well. I was always working hard in class, and to be honest, I would say GCM for sure.
For sure.
Getting kicked out of
I
the
was
class.
worse.
Where did you go to school, Martha?
In Ukraine.
Ukraine. And how's it there? Do you get kicked out of the class easily?
It was so boring. My energy, like I have this, like too much of me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't wait when I'm done, so I can just run around. It was too hard for me.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we were pretty close there, but the crowd said Mike, and now we know why Mike was just.
I'm glad I have such a good impression on crowd, though.
Okay, so next question: who is the best to pick up someone? So this is actually like flirting with someone. What did the crowd say? Who would, so say you were single right now, right? Who would be the one that, Marta left the building. Oh no, she's back.
Wait.
Because she knows everybody's going to put up her name.
Yeah, I'm doing my homework. Sorry, guys. Always.
Yeah, I'm saying Marta.
Yeah, I'll go for Marta as well.
Sam says Marta. Mike says Marta.
But it's also because I think I don't know if it's true for you, but I think I know, Luke, that a lot of your followers are men, like in percentage wise. So that's why I'm just thinking that the crowd is going to say that.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that.
It's a statistical approach.
You know what, Sam? I think it's Sam.
Hey. Okay, so why would you think it's Sam then?
Because why not?
Because I voted for her, maybe.
Because he's charming. I don't know.
Hey, that's nice.
Always smiling.
Exactly. This charming smile.
Mike, why would you say it's GCM?
Hard to say.
I mean, I guess it's me or GCM. So I don't know, because I mean, I think I'm the only single person in here.
You're single, right? Yeah.
So then I would go for GCM.
So yeah, I would have said Mike just because Mike kind of looks like a Superman with brown hair type of guy. He's tall, he's handsome, he's young, for sure. Not coming on to you, Mike, not at all. But and when it comes to me, I have no game. You can ask my wife. I have zero game. Like I have no clue what to do with that. I have never had any game, so it's like, I have no clue what to do with all of that. So
how did you meet your wife then? Did she seduce you, or how did that work?
That's a great question. Well, maybe I have the answer to that, where it's kind of in the realms of getting out of the friend zone, where I knew her for a long time, and and it's like, you know, how do you go from knowing each other to
Or
getting to know each other? And my wife can vow that getting to the first kiss was absolutely terrible. And the first kiss was terrible as well, because I was so nervous. I was super nervous. And mind you, you know, this we've been married since February, so I was well over 40 to try and kiss her, and it was terrible. I just suck at it.
Over 40, and you've been so nervous.
Super nervous. Well, this was good for her as well, because she would see that, oh, he's not one of those DJs, you know, that goes from hotel room to hotel room with other people. Otherwise, I would have just been like a Superman in the kiss, but I was not. I was terrible. Felt like high
maybe
school.
that worked for you then in the end.
Well, yeah, in the end, it worked for me. So that was a blessing for sure, where she was like, oh, okay, he's not one of those.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then you took her to this awesome apartment with this view over New York and the background, and she was like,
Oh, you mean my
Wow.
green screen?
yeah, yeah. We're like, he's a baller. I should marry him.
Yeah, no, she's not about that. So that was great, actually. She would actually appreciate my green screen because she's a photographer. So
Awesome.
she's into that. Okay, so one more question before we actually have viewers questions as well. Oh, more viewers questions as well. And this is about forgetfulness. Who is most likely to forget birthdays? What did the crowd say? Hey, we have a confession from Sam here. Sam says Sam Feldt.
Yeah, man, I just don't think birthdays are important, even my own birthday. So I'm like, let's celebrate life every day instead of having one. And I don't know. That's also why I don't remember them. Like I've looked up my fiance now, her birthday, I don't know, like 50 times already on Facebook. I forget. I always forget if it's June or July, and if it's the 26th or the 27th. I don't know. Like, it doesn't stick in my brain.
Well, this is a true confession here. I need to confess something as well. I actually was Googling Marta Juicy M's birthday today, and I couldn't find anything. It only said, oh, she's 25 plus. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe that's
forever 25 plus.
She's a woman.
Thanks, Google.
And women like to hide that. But I'm curious who you said, Marta, who is most likely?
I think it's you, Laidback Luke. I think.
Oh.
It's you.
Yeah. Okay. And Mike?
Okay.
Mike, what did you say?
Yeah, I would go for myself.
Wow.
I forget pretty much everything. So birthdays are a nightmare. I'm happy that I still know my own birthday.
That could be quite important. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we have forgetful people here. Myself as well. I just have all the birthdays in the calendars with like reminders, so it pops up. But I am absolutely terrible with birth dates as well, and I forget everything, like literally everything. Like my wife, every 2 days she's frustrated with me because I forget this or that. Oh, we spoke about that, and I was like, did we speak about that? I have no clue. I'm just here EQing this kick drum, but you know. Oh, there's a life next to producing music. I am so sorry. And you, Marta, do you forget birthdays or things?
Yeah, that's I forget to scratch my name. Pretty terrible.
I guess the touring also plays a role in this, because I feel like every time I come back from touring, then it's I just forget about a lot of things, and I forget about shows as well, and like meeting people is also if you meet someone once, like you say hi to a person just once on tour, I always kind of forget them. And then the next time I arrive there, then I really have to remember, like, who was that again? And but I guess that's also because you see so many countries But I guess it's the same for you guys.
I think we see just more people than usual. Maybe this
Yeah.
brain is just not ready to process so many information and so many numbers, and then it's
Yeah.
just natural selection, what is important and what is not really important. And birthdays is like on the list, way far away.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm, but even not when you're not on tour, like just my closest family, I don't know the birthday of. Like my dad, I know, and my mom, but don't ask me when it's my grandpa's birthday. I don't know. I have to look it up. It's in my calendar because I tend to forget.
So I do need to mention what the crowd said. The crowd said number 4, Sam. Now we know the truth, though. Number 3, Mike. Number 2, Juicy M, and number 1, Laidback Luke. Well, almost right, I guess. But now we know it's Sam, and especially with birthdays. That's yeah, and I am happy we can all of us can agree that touring does have an impact on that, and I do think it's interesting. I have actually met people that said, "Oh, remember 3 years ago I met you backstage at this and this club," and I'm like, I am so sorry. I would love to know who you are, but man, in the meantime, I've been, and it's impossible. I wish.
With ages, I think we all learned this ability. Yeah, I remember, of course. Just 2 days ago, I had the same, like, do you remember? I was the first person who brought you 8 years ago. Like, yeah!
Yeah, and they have to pretend that you actually remember.
8 years
And then
ago.
they start asking more, and then they kind of found out they don't remember.
Yeah, but it's terrible. I can imagine from their side, it's like, oh man, you guys are so arrogant or something. But it's
So arrogant.
I do feel it's
Like,
just
I wish I do. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes I don't even remember the club. When I come back to the same place for like 3 times, and like, oh wow, what a beautiful! You actually been here before? Oh yeah, sure. It happens only to me now.
For the people that are watching, it does get as intense like that, where it's like, I am personally happy I'm never on the mic, because I would be the guy that would totally say, "Hey, what's up, Amsterdam?" while I would be in London or something. While I was,
I had it once, yeah, and I said it twice. I said San Diego to San Francisco because the day before I was in San Diego, and I hadn't slept, and it was just complete mind fuck. And the crowd actually responded like, "No, man, you're in San Diego." Started screaming like, "Oh, sorry." And then at the end, I said it again. I was like, "Wow, okay, this is my last show in San Francisco." But anyway,
What do you mean birthday? I don't even know where I am.
yeah. Who am I?
and I used to have this with hotel rooms as well, where it's like, okay, which hotel room are you in? Oh, I'm in 817. Oh no, that was yesterday.
Yeah. I always take a photo now of my door.
Yeah,
Before I go in. Yeah.
Because on the night, if I'm arriving in the evening, I have a show. After show, there is no way I will remember the floor.
No. Exactly. Same.
What I'd like to talk about next is about. Yeah, I just need to. I was just looking at the timer. I just need to continue as well. What I would like to talk about is breaking through, because so Sam, for instance, what I don't think a lot of people know is that it took you a good 5 years before you got signed to Spinnin', right?
Yeah, well, even longer if you take into account all the years I spent as a drive-in DJ when I was 11. So I think I got signed when I was around 20 years old, something like that. So yeah, in reality, it's been more than 10 years of struggling. There was a period of time, I think, between the age of 13, 14, 15, where I wasn't that active. I was still, making some music on the side, Fruity Loops and stuff like that. But I wasn't pursuing a DJ career. And it started again when I was 17. And I entered the club for the first time. And it was in Portugal. And there was a DJ called Billy the Kid, or Clit, as he was called back then.
Yeah.
And he was playing. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was so fascinated. And I said to myself, I don't want to be here on the dance floor. I want to be here, over there in the DJ booth. Got home, got myself a DJ controller and started again. So it was a little break in between, but overall it took more than 10 years. Yeah.
Which controller was that?
It was a Hercules. It's like, yeah, you could put it. It was perfectly made for virtual DJ.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like €100. So for me, 150, super cheap controller. But for me, it was a lot of money. So again, I asked for money at my birthday, and I bought it. And that's when I started making mixes in my bedroom and putting them up on SoundCloud and stuff. And then I moved to the DDJ T1, I think, from Pioneer on Tractor. Was my second DJ controller.
We can never say the P word on my show, right?
I know. Yeah. And also, they're not paying me, so you can bleep it out.
So no, what I was going to say is because I have a lot of my crowd, a lot of them are always seeking to break through or dreaming of breaking through and whatnot. And so what was it in those 5 years that really motivated you other than Billy the Kid to try and get things to another level? And how did you succeed in the end?
For me, well, in the end, it was about changing my style. So I had been trying to imitate big DJs for way too long. Never got any reply from labels. I was always looking to make that next track that was going to be played on the Hardwell on air, or that was going to, fit perfectly in the Beatport top 10, or, be that perfect spin-in track. And when I let go of that and I created my own style, and I was like, I don't care who signs this, even if no one hears it, I'm going to make this music for myself. The first song I made with that in mind got signed. So that's kind of, and it's super cliche because everybody's saying, yeah, you have to find your own style and blah, blah, blah. But for me, it was 110% true. And the first song I created as Sam Feldt was a bootleg of the Kelly Family. Fell in love with an alien, like a Christian folk rock song, and bootlegged it, and that was the first time I got a response from Spinnin'. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, that's some great advice. And Mike, you got discovered by Tiesto, is that correct?
Yeah, well, he helped me a lot in the beginning, and when I got signed to Spinnin'. Like a year after, we ended up sharing some projects with each other, and I sent him a track, and he really liked it. And I already had one track on his label, and then we decided to do a collab. So I was super happy with that. And then he was like, "Yeah, if you want to join me on tour, I can kind of like show you around a bit." And for me, that was like mind blowing, because then I was 19 and I was in Vegas, and I was like, "Whoa, what is happening here?" And I got to meet all these people, and so he kind of showed me around in the dance industry, and he taught me a lot of like smart things and stuff that I didn't really know in the beginning. And from then on, I just released a lot of music on his label or on Spinnin' or another label. But before that, I was already making music since I was 12 or 13. So it still took me some time.
Oh,
Okay.
12, 11, 12.
Yeah.
That's incredible, right?
Like Holland, do you have like school where you learn how to produce music?
Oh, Marta, you don't even know, like, because we have this yearly exhibition called Dance Fair in the
You
Netherlands.
do got it.
And the amount of people, and this is, got to give a shout out to Martin Garrix as well. The amount of dads and moms I see with their like 10-year-old kid by the hand, trying to talk to the DJs that are around is incredible. Like actually nowadays parents want, or I don't know now exactly, but the parents in the Netherlands want their kids to become, the next Dutch big DJ. And it's really a cultural thing. You don't, because I'm in America right now, you don't really see that in America. It's like, oh, you're DJ, can you DJ at my wedding? But in the Netherlands, they understand it. It's like, oh, you're DJ. Oh, like Martin Garrix. And then, or Armin van Buren. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, mom, dad, can you buy me the controller? Yeah, for sure. And so Mike, I was thinking, how did you get in touch with Tiesto? Because, you know, I love Tiesto and we're always friendly. But, you know, sometimes when I email him, 3 out of 10, he emails me back and I'm like, dude, how did you get in touch with him?
I mean, there was a point that I was also going to ADE and Dance Fair and things like that. And Spinning always had, like, of course, Musical Freedom was part of Spinning, or it's still part of Spinning, I'm not sure. But the connection with Spinning and Tiesto was quite close. And when I released the first track on his label, I never actually met him before that. And so he knew my name. He knew that I released one track. And he wanted to do a meeting during ADE in a hotel in the lobby. And I've never been so nervous for a meeting. Because I remember walking inside the lobby and I saw him sitting there and he was just like, hey, how are you? And we're both quite tall, so that was nice. And we just sat down and I showed him some new tracks. And he really liked it. And I remember, because I still lived at home. And I remember I came back home with my parents. And I was like, what the hell just happened? And he was super nice. So that's kind of how we got in touch. And I eventually got his phone number. And we were just texting each other.
Wow. I don't even have Tiesto's phone number. Well, I gotta give a shout out to Tiesto as well, because he is absolutely a super nice guy and obviously a legend. So Marta, I heard, so we're talking about all these, you know, big room type of people, but I heard at one point you didn't even want to be on the main stage. You had like a hate for the main stage. Is that correct or no?
Discovered not by label. I've been discovered by internet. Basically, people just shared my stuff on the internet, my mixes, and the numbers were, for that time, was quite huge. And labels just tried to figure out what's wrong with this girl. She's just all upside down. You know? So after I became a successful DJ, touring DJ, I started to learn how to produce, and everything was just upside down for me.
Because you originally started as a hip-hop DJ, is that right?
Oh, I have no clue that I could be, you know, travel the world and just play festivals. I was just doing my stuff, just, you know, just scratching with the boys in the club, just learning how to do turntablism. And I took a part in like competitions like DMC and Red Bull Freestyle, which were in Ukraine. So for me, it was more like a DJ stuff and all about music and how to mix music, how to mix it cooler and more complicated. And just to do, I really love the vinyl, the touch, the collection. And then, you know, in your Dutch culture, it's all about producing, and it's different. DJ is like second thing. You just put a USB and play whatever. You don't care about this much. Maybe 1 hour, you just put some songs together. So yeah, for me, it was all upside down.
Wow, that's a next level for sure. If you did the Red Bull Freestyle competition.
Well, I competed only with the boys because I was the first girl who played music in my country. So I have to be strong enough. So I have to, you know, prepare for many hours in a house in order to win this competition.
And I saw a video, one of your latest videos, where you were mixing on 4 iPads. How was that?
Yeah, bored. It was the most complicated stuff I ever done, to be honest. Definitely.
So I've been thinking about that too, like DJing on iPads, but don't you like miss scratching? Or I actually really love touching jobs.
Well, you know, it's not about really scratching. It's more about the collection you have on Spotify, so you don't have to download the music. Well, you can't edit music, obviously.
Yeah.
But for kids to play for some venues, It's very cool. It's very cool stuff. You have one iPad and you can just play from your playlist. So it's super simple. And also you can practice in it.
I think.
But I wouldn't.
I think the hotel Wi-Fi just out a little bit.
Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It was an interesting story, though.
It's interesting, and I'll mention Denon here. Denon, not the P word. Denon has that inbuilt now where we're able to stream from Tidal and Beatport, SoundCloud, and Dropbox is coming as well. So you don't need to put your USB in. I think it's an interesting development.
Look.
What's that?
Denon.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, I just got the new ones in. I'm waiting on the mix.
You toys in the house.
So I have a question from the crowd. And this one is actually for Juicy M, but maybe one for Sam as well. They ask why you don't use headphones when you're mixing. This is a Nasahi piano. I gotta give a shout out.
I use inners.
Can I ask the same question? Why should I use headphones while I'm mixing?
Okay. Well, maybe we should ask Mike. Mike, you just use a headphone when you're mixing, right?
Mike, why you should use headphones when you mix?
I mean, for me, it's just to be sure. But I started DJing without headphones. It's definitely possible. I mean, you guys are doing it, but you do you use in-ears or you don't use?
Yeah. I've in-ears, so I it's a bit of a trick question. So I use in-ears and not headphones because I want to protect my ears, and you can hear everything a lot better and clearer, and you're less dependent on the sound quality of the club or the festival. So you have everything under control, always the same experience. So it just allows me to mix more accurately. But obviously, I'm still listening to what's coming next. So it's a little bit of a trick question.
It depends how
So I guess Marta,
unprotected and the rest are reckless.
yeah, I guess for you it doesn't really matter that if you have your set of skills, it's just easy to catch the beat and just mix, right?
Oh, well, yeah, for me, it's just years of experience. And after playing on vinyl, just to push the button on the right time on the beat, it's just too simple, to be honest.
But how does it work then? Because do you wear ear protection when you do your show?
I do have a ear protection for sure.
And then you have your monitor turned up quite loud, I guess, then, or not?
No,
yeah, because that's one of the reasons why I use the in-ears, because sometimes if you have a hollow club or like a big festival and you have a big space, the bass can be very misleading because there's a little delay or there's like a reverb in the room. So you're like, okay, what am I hearing? Am I hearing the monitors or am I hearing the room? And that's sometimes for me, it's a little bit confusing.
It happens once in few months for me. So in this case, I definitely wear. But most of the times, it's very good sound. So I'm just
got it.
I always put my booth monitors. So
something go wrong. Sometimes things can go wrong, but I just take this risk and I have much more fun. When I put like headphones, I'm out of my zone. And especially when I'm mixing really fast, I just go in there and out there and I can just lose these vibes. So when I just push the buttons and in my zone, it just feels more natural for me. And I have more fun, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. More experimental, right? You're less focused on the technical side and more on the experience.
Care, to be honest. If I do something wrong, I don't really care that much. Like for me, vibes is more important. If I do something small, little thing which someone can hear, it doesn't really happen. I don't remember when the last time something like that happened, but I take that risk and I will be fine if something go wrong. And I can fix it really fast. I know that if something go wrong, I can fix it. Like my ears are quite good, and I'm not too drunk. I can control level of alcohol as well.
Well, Marta, I definitely agree with you. I mix of vibes as well. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, but wow, that mix sounded wrong. And I'm like, no, it didn't sound wrong. You could actually hear me mix, but I caught the beat. And, this is the vibe. Like, you want to be in there with that train with me. And if I catch it and, it's just organic. And I love that. I do love that. And with me, I DJ with...
From an old school kind of playing, like when from hip hop, when you just would cut. I don't know. I just
remember listening to my favorite DJs, and I guess Billy would be an example of that as well, where it was like, at a certain point, I started analyzing their mixes, and sometimes I would hear them needing to correct the mix, and then they got it, and I was in there with them, and I was like, wow, we're in this together.
Yeah, there is something about it, something romantic about it.
Yeah. Obviously, it shouldn't be like a train wreck or anything, but definitely organic.
Yeah, I know, like in a techno world or even tech house and house, it's more about like really long transition, very accurate transition. But sometimes when I play trap, it's it's not about that. It's more about the energy, and I can't lose the energy when I'm just putting constantly in and out, in and out. It just doesn't make any sense.
Can you imagine what this would do for your hair, Marta? The headphones?
Sometimes I used to wear headphones and I just lost so many energy of just putting headphones from my hair. So the second reason.
Okay, so I'm going to take you through the last three questions of the poll, circling around to having a DJ next to you in a hotel room. So who would you not want to have next to you in a hotel room? What did the crowd say?
That's so rude.
So you asked a question to the crowd. Okay.
What does the crowd think? Who you wouldn't want to have next to you in a hotel room?
But like sleeping next to you or in the room next door?
What are you talking about?
Right. No.
Sam, relax.
The next room. The next room.
Oh, okay. I was like to share a room with. I was like, okay, next door.
What? Okay. That's rude and weird.
In that case.
Okay.
Well, she just told us that even in quarantine, she was getting pretty wild on the balcony. So.
Okay, so Sam
and
so noisy.
Not using headphones, so I would go.
Both staff. Well, all three of them actually said Juicy M. So, you know what? Let's get straight to the. No, let's ask Mike. Mike, you just said because she doesn't use headphones.
Well, she doesn't use headphones, so that would be a lot of noise.
Definitely. I'm very noisy neighbor.
And here I am thinking, Marta, you're reading books in your hotel room. So you say you're very loud in your hotel?
Oh, well, for 24 hours, I can't read books for 24 hours. So.
Okay. Yeah. I guess you must be the loudest. I'm not loud in a hotel room either. What about you guys?
Very loud. Good
Sam,
choice.
any loud music?
No, I'm super quiet usually. No, it's not like usually I don't produce well in hotel rooms anyway. So I tend to just sleep, watch a movie, fairly quiet. Sometimes, at the beginning of my career, we would still have like the after parties end up in my room, but that's already years ago.
Mike, I could see you hosting some really nice after parties.
Yeah. Sometimes. Depends how nice the hotel is. But if there's no after party, I'm really quiet and I just watch Netflix or juice with my headphones on, and yeah, I think.
I'm not one of those, but there are DJs that definitely throw big after parties. And if there's someone coming into my mind, it's Diplo. It's Diplo that always like has something going on.
Yeah, I'd love to be a neighbor with Diplo though. Yoo-hoo!
And it's interesting. I've I've been at 2 of them, I think, and the only thing I was doing, because I don't drink anymore, is I was giving workouts to people. We were doing like push-ups on the floor, and at a certain point, I was teaching some kickboxing in the hotel room and whatnot. But he was just DJing and partying, and so I guess my answer would then be Diplo, but he's not on this list. So following up with that, who complains the most? What did the crowd think? Who would complain the most?
That's easy though.
Oh, says Laidback Luke would be a complainer. Juicy M says Sam Feldt. And Mike says Sam Feldt. Wow. Okay, well,
I don't know why, but I feel
why
like
would Sam be a complainer?
I don't know.
The feeling. No, for me, why I said Luke is like you're super vocal about, like whatever you think about something on Twitter, always you don't shy away from discussions, and I think that kind of gives me the feeling that not complaining, but like getting into discussions about things is one of your character traits, right? And something you do well as well.
That's very fair. Let me come back to you on that. So, Marta, why would you say, you said Sam, right?
As he said, I just got this feeling.
Sam, would you see yourself as a complainer?
Well, not
Being serious.
not really. No. Like you said at the beginning, I'm usually smiling, so it's really hard to complain when you're smiling. Like, I this is complete shit. No, I don't know, man. Like I never, to be honest, I'm more of a guy that is afraid of conflict. So I would much rather, put in my earplugs when Juicy M is loud next door than complain about the noise.
Oh my God, that's like a new nightmare. But
Yeah.
please make sure GCM lives on another building,
Yeah.
another floor on another building, like really far away.
Okay, so Sam, we could then say easily you're a glasses half full type of guy then.
Yeah, and also like I always try to I first try to solve the problem myself usually before I complain to other people. Or just talk about it to other people. I'm very, in that way, a little bit of an introvert. So,
Marta, are you a type the glass is half full or the glass is half empty?
I'm type of I will be cool with both.
Okay.
As long as it's vodka.
Oh my God! The last time I've been drinking like 8 months ago, but I'm glad I have this kind of impression though.
Well, it's maybe the Ukrainian heritage, right?
Maybe Ukrainian though, maybe.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mike? Are you generally positive or a less positive person?
Yeah, I'm most of the time I'm quite positive, and I think, I mean, I just want to have it perfect. I guess you guys have that as well. If you're on tour or I don't know, something happens, you just you just want to have the best show and give the crowd the best experience. But I'm usually quite happy and positive, and if something happens, then I say it, and I just but I never get like angry or something.
Well, tell you what, Sam. So I'm circling back. I am actually quite similar to you, where I don't like conflict, and I'm pretty good with a lot of things. So I guess the only reason why I'm so vocal on Twitter is because of certain things that where my heart really sits. But other than that, and I've toned it down a little bit. I was seeing it was like, it was becoming like a really a thing, and I'm kind of trying to be more gentle about it now. But in real life, Yeah, no, well, if there's something, I'll just have my tour manager say it.
Mhm. No, but it's also not complaining. It's actually it's not the right word. It's like it's having like sharing your opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's but I that's also why I follow you. So like I love your getting your vision and your thoughts on things like the music industry, DJing. So yeah, that's actually what makes it interesting. I have super boring Twitter accounts. I just post.
Well, I have to be honest though. Right now on my Twitter account, there's nothing much going on because I don't feel like saying anything really. Like I don't feel like anything that I'll say right now will contribute to this crazy world we live in. So I'm not very motivated on there. I am motivated in responding to people on Twitter and whatnot, but like just put something out there. Some people tweet a lot, but I'm like, I don't see the use right now. And so the last question: Who has the craziest thing on their rider? Who has the craziest request on their rider? What did the crowd think?
Yeah, it's a good one. Maybe they would think me.
Hey. Oh shoot! Yeah. Let me get back to you on the.
I think it's you.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so Juicy M said Laidback Luke. Sam Feldt said Sam Feldt. And Mike?
I think you as well.
Mike says Laidback Luke as well. Wow. That's incredible. Okay, so you know what? What is the crazy thing I would have put on my rider, but I still need to name the score from the last time. Sorry. So the one who complains the most, number 4, Laidback Luke, number 3, Mike Williams, number 2, Juicy M, and number 1, Sam Feldt. But now we know the truth. And so for this one, so Mike, what do you think I have on my rider that's so crazy then?
I don't know. I think because I guess you are the guy who is in this music industry for a long time. So you've probably seen everything and you have the most experience in putting stuff on your rider, meeting other DJs, putting weird shit on their rider.
What would it be though? What do you think?
I've actually seen I've seen a video of you. It might be a while back of you having a personal trainer on the road. That's pretty unique.
That's pretty fancy, right? Yeah.
Me or
no, Luke, right? So you had like your own like Tai Chi something. I don't know what you're doing. I saw a video like a couple of years back. I was like, wow, this guy, he's got some requests on his rider. But maybe you paid for it himself. I don't know. But I was like, oh, he definitely has a specific routine.
That's a very good point. I used to travel with my Kung Fu teacher. I was back then getting ready for the World Championships in Kung Fu and whatnot. And I had him with me as well for just for mental health purposes and staying fit for sure. But I paid all his costs. So he wasn't on my rider. He was not on my rider. Why, Sam, did you say
good idea,
I'm not sure. It's like there's been some news about me, which is true, having like a sustainable rider. So lots of organic stuff, no plastics. It's also through my foundation that we advocate for a plastic-free rider. So I would say that maybe something people think, I've got some weird requests on it, like I want to be driven in an electric car and stuff like that, which is on there, but it's a preference, not mandatory, but like stuff like that. So it's been in the news. So maybe your fans think I have some pretty strange requests regarding that.
Sam, CDJs are made out of plastic, right?
I know, but I'm but Denons are as well.
Okay, we'll need to work on that. And so, Marta, do you have any crazy things on your rider?
I mean, I wish I do. It's just so basic. Guys, you're going much forward with your riders. I'm just collecting your ideas. It's super basic.
Yeah, actually, my rider is super basic as well. I literally, the most important thing is my equipment, and then it's just water and alcohol is for the people
for my guests.
Yeah,
Alcohol if someone coming in. That's it.
alcohol would be for the
Yeah.
people that for like the friends coming or entourage or acquaintances, and
Yeah.
other than that, no real crazy preferences. Mike, I've heard you DJ on socks though.
Yeah, that's right.
You have your own sock brands, you sock merchandise.
Yeah. We sell Mike Williams socks in the web store. But during the shows I have socks on my rider, and then preferably the weirdest socks ever. So it can be like, I don't know, Mario Kart socks or Homer Simpson socks. I don't know. And then I'll play on those socks.
Fascinating. Well, so quarantine must have been nice for you, because I've just been DJing here in my living room with on my socks, which was a new experience for me. But for you, it was normal.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the reason why I play on socks. I already do it for like 3 years, every show. And if I wear shoes, I'm not really getting in the vibe. So I kind of need them. And it's because I started DJing in my bedroom on socks, so it makes me feel comfortable and I can just like jump around. And the only thing is when you jump off stage, off the boot, sometimes it can be a bit dangerous.
Wow.
I had it once that I actually slipped and I fell right on my kind of on my butt, on my back, so it was not that bad.
Ooh, tricky.
But I tried the socks with the knobs under it, so you don't slide. But it just makes it worse because it's really weird walking on it.
Did you ever get injured like from glass, something on the floor or something like that?
A lot of people ask that, but I like right before the show, I make sure that my tour manager just removes every single bit of glass or something like that. But
interesting, man.
Yeah,
I thought you just did it like sometimes as a joke, but I didn't know you did it all the time.
No, like every show, if it's a small show or a big show, like tomorrow on main stage, also on socks. I don't care.
And you just take off your shoes just before you go on stage.
Yeah, I just leave them like right next to me, and then when I play my last track, and I end my set, I just put them back on.
That's fascinating. Okay. I've seen that before. I think Cascade does it as well, and sometimes I even see DJs DJ barefoot. And
I do that at the pool parties in Vegas.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm wearing my swim shorts, my flip flops. I mean, I'm at the pool. I'm not gonna wear shoes. So
I was DJing on flip flops because
no, I take them off. So it's just barefoot because flip flops are super annoying. Just like you're driving with flip flops, that's not a good idea, right? So they get stuck and weird. No, I just take them off. I put some towels on the ground because then otherwise my feet get messed up. But it works.
Fascinating. Well, DJs are crazy creatures, and I'm gonna round this Late Night Luke episode up. Thank you so much for joining me here, and thank you for being so open with your questions and answers. And I hope I actually bump into you guys on tour again soon. Marta, wishing you a lot of good times in Thailand. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. See you on the next one, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao. Thanks for having us.
Ciao.
Bye.